In today's video, we're trying to figure out the best firearm for a mature female for self-defense, and we have our very special guest, Mrs. Country Shootin'. She and I are Generation X, so we're looking for a gun for her that she'd be comfortable with. And how did that go, Mrs. Country Shootin'?
Well, for 20 years, my husband has been trying to get me comfortable with his semi-automatics, and I just did not want any part of it. I've been a revolver girl. I could not pull back. I could not load the magazine. Literally, I could put 3 bullets in and that's it. The spring was just too strong for me. So that gun, I feel, could be used against me. I was never comfortable with his semi-automatics. Then I found the Smith and Wesson Performance Setter Easy 9mm, and this just changed my life. It changed everything. Super easy to slide back. I can easily, without even a sweat, load the magazine. I've been walking around my house with this on. A friend was joking that I'm gun crazy, but I'm just practicing. So my husband has been around guns his entire adult life. I have been around guns my entire adult life, but it's been kept in a locked safe. So this is the first time I'm getting used to this. So I walk around my house with this on. If you have children, it doesn't have to be loaded. Our children are grown. The first couple days I was bumping into walls. I would go around a corner and I'd bump into a wall. I would sit in my armchair and I'd have to readjust myself. So just a couple days of walking around with this, I became more comfortable with it. My goal is to be able to release the clip here easily, to take my gun out if I need to. I need to be able to do that as easily as I take my phone out of my back pocket. It needs to be as natural as that. You don't need to think about it. So as I walk around the house, I use the holster release. I don't take the gun out. You need to know exactly where that is. When I go into my garage, I might do that just for practice. And I have more confidence, and that is the key for me now, is I have confidence, whereas with my husband's semi-automatic, it was too much gun for me. And I know I might get some hate about this. It's okay for women to admit that they're not as strong as men. You know, a man will outweigh you by 100 pounds, a couple feet taller, a foot taller. It's okay to use a smaller gun. This one has this grip safety. You can get this particular gun with a different safety. I did not get that. I don't feel like I need to have another safety. But if you grip this gun, you're not even going to realize that that's there. It's not even in the way, but there is a safety to that. Also, this gun has 8 rounds in the magazine. If you need more than that, you could always clip something on, but for home defense, I think 8 is more than enough. But you know, it's up to you, but you can easily carry more ammo.
Hey, can you share the sights? Because once people get to be
really good.
Yeah, once the people start to get to be our age, then sometimes you have difficulty focusing on the sights. But it just has fiber optic sights, and they're also tritium. So in the daytime, they're incredibly bright, and you don't really have to focus on them very hard. And then at night, they're tritium, so they glow in the dark without having to be charged, because they contain a radioactive isotope of hydrogen that emits electrons and lights those sights right up for you.
So here we have my husband's Glock magazine. Here's my Easy magazine. So it's quite slow, and I feel quite at ease. Okay, that's about it. Look, I squeeze it against my body. I can maybe get the 4th one in. This does not work for me. Okay, so if I'm in a gun battle, I get 3 bullets. It does not work. Okay, so let's look at the ease of this. So like I said earlier, it holds 8. I can easily put 8 in, all the way down to the bottom. Super easy.
Because you got those little pull tabs on the side, right?
Yes, pull tabs on the side. But even as the spring gets tighter, it's super easy to go all the way down. Like with this, I'm done at 3. So ladies, it's okay to have a gun that isn't a man gun. I really believe that, you know, use a gun that's going to work best for you, because the last thing you need is to have your weapon taken away from you. That would just not be good.
Okay. So once again, the weapon's called the Smith and Wesson M&P 9 EZ, and you've got the Performance Center version, which is the one that has the nice tritium fiber optic sights on it.
So when I first got this, my husband got me the belt clip, and it did not fit in because I was putting an empty magazine in. So the magazine needs to be full before it fits in, and it fits in snugly. It's not going to come off. You see I got this one on, and just easily comes out. But it needs to be loaded, so don't think that the magazine isn't working right because it doesn't fit in. It just needs to be full of ammo.
Yeah, because there's little side tabs keep the magazine from going in a single stack holster, so that's why. If the little tab's at the top, then it's not gonna go in the holster. So you'd always had a Smith and Wesson Ladysmith 5-shot 357 Magnum, and that's what you had when I met you.
Love that gun.
And so then you wanted to buy another revolver, and Maryland gun laws had changed. Can you talk about that?
So, yeah, the Ladysmith, which I love, I bought that about 25 years ago. Only shot it once a year when we'd come down to the range, but I knew I had it and I loved it. It's only got 5 shots, so it's not really good for self-defense. Anyway, I wanted to get another gun, and of course it was a revolver because I was not comfortable with the semi-automatics. And the state we're in required me to take a class. I had to get fingerprints, I had to take a gun class
You had to get
safety.
a handgun qualification license, I think, an HQL.
HQL, I had to get that. Well, thanks state of Maryland, because that got me really into guns. It made it fun. Going to the class was fun. No offense to my husband, but when he would try to teach me, I was nervous and it was not fun. But going to a class was a lot of fun. So I recommend everybody get out there and take a class. So I had to do this in order to buy my gun. And it took 4 weeks to get that, and then another 2 weeks for the gun to come. So it's a really long time. I get that, you know, why they do that. But if it hadn't been for the state of Maryland requiring me to take a self-defense class, I would not have my best friend here.
And then since you were at it, taking classes, then what did you do after you got your HQL?
Right. So the next logical step with the class was to get a carry conceal permit, and it was so simple. It was 10 weeks of waiting, but the class that I was in, it had HQL, CCW, and so I just did both. And it took 2 days, 8 hours a day, so it was time consuming, but it was so worth it. And what it did was it made it fun for me. I was no longer scared of my weapon. I was confident, and I had fun.
So now, thanks to the state of Maryland forcing you to get a license just to buy a handgun, now you have a concealed carry permit and you're carrying a handgun everywhere.
Yes, well, I don't carry this everywhere because it would show right through my clothes. I don't carry, but walking around my house with this on, I mean, anybody could walk into my house day or night and they're going to get a surprise because I'm going to be ready. My whole life I've always had to look over my shoulder, and for the first time since I was 10 years old, I feel like nobody's going to jump out and get me.
Just to share the effectiveness of the M&P 9 EZ, we're going to go through a modified El Presidente drill, and we're going to start out on the command of go. Mrs. Country Shooting's going to turn, fire 2 shots into each target, and she's going to take cover doing a magazine change. Then she's going to come back up with 6 more rounds in her magazine and engage the targets again. Go! Yeah, so we've got 3 man-sized targets at 7 meters, which is inside the range of 95% of shootings. And all of Mrs. Country Shooting's shots went into the lethal area of the targets. So once again, the weapon that Mrs. Country Shootin' thinks is ideal for mature women is the M&P 9 Shield EZ. This is the takedown lever. This is the slide release lever and slide locking lever. It has a grip safety like the old 1911s. Very nice trigger. Magazine release in a standard place. And the thing that I like the best are these fiber optic sights that are also tritium. So if something goes down, it's usually going to go down at night. And also for that reason, there's a rail on here, so Mrs. Country Shootin' can mount a light on it for nighttime operations. It comes with an 8-round magazine, and it has little tabs on the side. So with the offhand, the person can compress the spring while the hand with the most dexterity loads the cartridges into the top of the magazine. So that just allows 2 hands to get involved. So if somebody has arthritis or less hand strength than the average adult male, then this is ideal. As far as carry ammunition, at first I was thinking that Mrs. Country Shootin' might want a lighter load. I usually carry 147 grain jacketed hollow point. So we tried the pistol out with various forms of ammunition. And did you notice any difference in the recoil with anything you fired?
No.
Yeah, so the 147 grain really didn't have any recoil that bothered her, so that's what she carries because it's the most effective 9mm ammunition for self-defense.
I appreciate y'all watching today. I'm new at this. Maybe you're new at this too. Maybe you know a lot about guns. Ladies, if you have any comments that you would like to share for me and anybody else watching, please leave them in the comment section. And I appreciate it. God bless.